stuff comes. That's a little better. Welcome, everyone. Ageless Balance. I'm Ron. We're going to do core, this whole area right here, front, back, hips, all the way up to the chest, without going on the floor. We are not going to go on the floor. Promise you that. Find your neutral first. Hips, right underneath, shoulders and ears. So you got that straight line going right down the side, knees, and ankles and heels. That is your neutral position. Little bend in the knees. Shoulder blades are back, but just back far enough to get up underneath the ears there. Chin is up. So you have an open air passage right through here. As you draw those shoulder blades back, that'll bring the chin up. It'll open up the throat and open up the chest. All right, pelvic tilt is the next piece of that. So we go from here in that neutral position and just squeezing these muscles from the belly button. I'm not going to show my belly button. From the belly button down to the hips, you're welcome. You just tighten those up. Got that exhale every time. So what we do is take a deep breath in and then exhale hard. As you do, you will feel the muscles here, those ab muscles through the stomach area. They will tighten up, driving the air out of the lungs. That's what you want to feel. Are those muscles tighten up? Don't push the stomach out as you do that. Don't drive the butt out. Don't squeeze the glutes to get the hips forward. Use these muscles, lower abs, so that they get strong and they hold that pelvis right up there, keeping the hips forward and relax. That was fun. Upper body. So that was the lower abs, that split muscles that run from the belly button down to the hips. We're going to go belly button up to the chest. Arms right straight out, shoulder blades back. Looking right down the arms. Again, deep breath in and then exhale. Rolling the shoulders forward as you exhale, feeling those muscles right below the rib cage. Squeeze and bring it back again. So you're reaching the shoulders out, but you're not leaning out. You're not hunching the back to go out. And in. We're just warming those muscles up. Exhale. The more air you get out, the longer you hold it with those muscles contracted, not letting any air back in again, the more you're going to feel those muscles engage. One more time. The more you're going to feel in fatigue. Out. Hold. And back in again. Arms down. Shake that out. Upper and lower body. So we're going to do that pelvic tilt, upper and lower abs, and the belly button to the rib cage at the same time. Arms out and concentrate on both pieces of that stomach. Right straight out. Nice and tight. And bring it back in. One more time. And back in again. Shake it out. Roll the shoulders. We're going to do side. So we did upper abs, lower abs. And I've got these ones out here on the side that do the rotation. So first thing, hands out front. Arms over, forearms on one on top of the other is what I'm trying to say. And not very well. Roll around. So you're taking the torso, hips, above the hips, all the way up, doing that rotation so that the hips don't move whatsoever. Bring it around and bring it back to the other side. Same thing. You got a little bend in the knees. Feet are hip width apart. You got the shoulder blades back in that neutral position we talked about. And then bringing the chin around. Facing around. Feel the stretch all the way up the back. From about 3/4 of the way up the back. Shake that out. About 3/4 of the way up the back. Let's try this again. For about 1/4 of the way up to the back, all the way up to the neck is where you should feel the rotation. Stepping forward into a stagger step. Right foot in front of the left. Knee is over the ankle on that front leg. Hands up. Elbows right straight out. Arms, chest level. That rotation again. Now, you're going to have this leg. It's going to be your cue. If that knee's rolling out at all, that means the hip is turning. If the hip is turning, that means the lower back is in danger of getting hurt. You don't want that. No danger of getting hurt. Roll around. Keep those feet flat on the floor and knees straight out front and back. Other side. So you should be getting a little deeper than you got last time. We warmed the muscles up first with that rotation. Then we get a little deeper, but not right away. You never go as deep as you can right away. Round back in, arms down, shake it out. Next, hip flexion. We're going to do a march. So knee up and back down, finding your balance, up and back down. Heel comes up first, starting slowly. After you do a couple, you start to feel a little better about your balance. Brain's figuring out where you are. Up, moving your body, shifting appropriately to keep you upright so you don't tip over, and back down. So we're going to do is take that tuck, that knee up, and add that lower ab crunch at the same time. So it's, you bring that knee up as high as you can, wherever that is for you, whether it be way up here, whether it be way down here, or higher, lower, whatever. Just bring it up, squeeze. You'll feel that hip roll up, pelvis rolls forward, knee will come up just a little bit and bring it back down. All the work happening right here in the front of the hip and lower abs, belly button, all the way to the top of the thigh. And back down. Think about those lower abs. Really concentrate on tightening them up, bringing that hip forward. Hold when you're in that crunch position, when that knee's up, and you know when it's up, you feel that, get it up, and then you exhale, brings it up just another inch. Hold it there and keep exhaling, keep tightening those muscles up, even if you can't get any more air out. And then drop it back down again. The longer you can keep those muscles under tension, the more you get out of them, the more you break them down so they can build back up again. Other side, same thing. Stationary leg, foot flat on the floor, like that, flat, not crooked. And then bent knee, hip, torso in neutral. Stack over that stationary leg as you pick the other leg up. The thing you want to make sure of is that knee, toe, and hip are all pointed right out in front. Don't let the leg go out to the side like that, or the heel come in actually and back down. Try it again. Strengthening up the muscles on the inside and the outside of the leg, strengthening up that knee by keeping everything in alignment. When those muscles get strong, you will stay in alignment no matter what you do. The muscles will be strong in this position, so they will always go to this. Back down, a couple more. It's tight. And back down, one more. And back down. What you should feel right here in the glutes, middle of the butt, on the side, those muscles closest to the chair are working to hold that hip in, so those get worked at the same time. All right, leg comes up, arm comes up. So up, exhale, bring it all together, balancy thing, and back down again, the hard balancy thing. Try it again. And back down. So this other leg, make sure you're in alignment. Knees coming up, right straight up toward the shoulder. Arm comes right straight up. And back down. Other side. Leg up. And back down. So you're really, really taking your time on this. If you want, you don't have to hold really hard onto the chair. You don't have to grip it and lean into it. Just lightly hold on to it. Make the core do the work to hold you upright. Whoa. And back. There's nothing holding me up over there, so I'm falling that way. And back down. We're going to do one more. Up. And back down. Now that you're comfortable with that arm up there, I'm going back to the other side. Arm up. This time you're going to pull that arm down as the knee comes up with that exhale. So just like we did at the beginning with the arms up front, squeezing the upper abs to bring the shoulders forward, lower abs bring that pelvic tilt into it. We're going to do the same thing, except this time bringing the arm down from the side and taking this shoulder and pulling it down toward the hip so you can feel those muscles working on the outside of the back, all the way down through the core here on the outside of the back, lower half. And extend back out. Again, Check your stationary leg. Make sure that the knee, toe, and hip are all in alignment. All right, hold it. And back up again one more time. And back out. Other side. Right up here, right up here. Start out with the arm up. Get yourself hip in, everything lined up right here. All the joints are stacked, distributing the weight all the way through the body. That way you've got each of the joints working together to hold the weight of the body, and everything's lined up. If you're out of alignment, now you're putting all sorts of torque on one piece of that joint. One side's separating, one side's grinding together. So you want it to be straight. So you've got that equal distance between the joint all the way around, between the ball and the socket. And back out one more time. Nice tight. And back. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to bring the elbow across to the opposite leg. So knee comes up, arm comes down at a diagonal, rolling the shoulder. So as you come around, you're going to be going up and turning the shoulder around. Girdle, shoulder girdle stays in a straight line all the way around. Knee does not have to come across body. If you do cross body with the knee, make sure you're not turning the hips, that all you're doing is working within that hip joint. So it's up, rotate the shoulders. So now we're getting into the obliques, the muscles on the outside of the abs, those rotational muscles. They're a diagonal. When they contract, they pull you around with it. And back out. 2 more. And extend, last one. And out. Other side. Switching off instead of doing all on one side, so they give that shoulder a break. Arm up, opposite arm, opposite leg, leg closest to the chair comes up, elbow comes down, rotate the shoulders, and then squeeze. It's not about touching the knee. It is never about bringing that together, because if you get it together, what's probably happening is you're leaning forward, trying to get that elbow down there. That's not what you're looking for. No curve through that upper back or any of the back. It's a straight line all the way up, so you can get the rotation in there. And back out. Remember, hold in that contracted position. One more time. And back. One more, we'll take a break. Then we'll take a break. One more after we do that. Chair can go away for a second. You don't need it for right now. Bring the arm up over the side. Coming down, crunch. As you bring that arm down, bring the shoulder blade down at the same time. And arm down. We're going to do a side bend then, that direction, back up, and then arm up over the top to start, and then we go down to the other side. Like that, squeezing those ab muscles tight here, bringing you down. Roll that shoulder blade down, making sure that you feel these muscles working all the way from right on the outside of the back and around. It's like I have to go to the bathroom. I have a question. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Down and back up, arm down, pull down to the side, roll it down, squeeze these muscles nice and tight, coming back up over the top, and we start leaning in the other direction, tightening, bring that shoulder blade down. Again, roll the hand, tighten those ab muscles, and now we go into those obliques on the side. Leave that arm down. And tighten up that other side, bringing you up and down. Other side, same thing. We're starting on the top. Bring the arm down, palm in, elbow down, bring that shoulder blade down. So it's to to the side. One more right there. Then back up by tightening up this other side. Contract those muscles to bring you back up, arm up overhead. Again, to the side, exhale, a little more, squeeze it tight, and other side, reach down, grab that shoulder blade, drop it, lean to the other side, arm up. One more time, forward, down, shoulder blade comes down, arm pulls, hand down, and just even more. Tighten those muscles up. You should feel this between the hips and the ribs. And other side, drives down to bring you back up again. So the arm doesn't drive down. What happens is these muscles contract to pull you. As they shorten, they're going to pull you to the side so that you go upright using nice, strong muscles. We're good. Have a drink of water. Have a drink of water. You deserve it. We're never going to get to the seated stuff. I guarantee it. We're going to do some other stuff instead. I like the sanding stuff. So chair is really effective if you're out on the edge of the chair. And this is the beauty when you're doing core exercises, not on the floor. The modifications you can make is you can start your core exercises with your butt all the way back against the chair. Then you start working your way out, seated, to the edge of the chair until you get that glute fold right between the butt and the leg. You get that right out on the edge of the chair. You've modified to that point. You can do all sorts of exercises from there. Standing up, now instead of the seat of the chair, doing all the core work, you have to keep yourself upright, to keep yourself stacked. So let's stay in the standing position. First thing we're going to do is just a leg lift. That's not too hard. Up and back down. How high your leg comes up, it's between you and your hip joint. But you want to make sure that that foot, knee, hip, shoulder are all in alignment as you bring it up and back down. Knee has a little bit of a bend in it. The other thing you want to make sure of is as you're picking that up, don't lock this other knee out. It's easy to do. It seems like it's so much easier, but it's hurting that joint. You want to let the muscles do the job there. Bring it up. Remember that hip tuck with the exhale? We're doing it with this. Bring it up. Alignment. Feel the muscles working all the way up. Lower abs. Tip that hip up and back down. Other glute over here on the other side. Nice and tight, holding you upright. Again. So you think all you're doing is using this muscle in the front. It is so much more than that. Every muscle works for every movement. And the core is always the first thing to engage before any movement. These muscles have to tighten up so you're not flopping around side to side. Because you will. If those muscles aren't tight, you just kind of lean off to the side. And back down. So this one, we're really working lower abs, hip flexor right here in the front of the hip. And the glutes, side of the hips are getting really engaged, as well as the thigh muscle, otherwise the quadriceps. I switch legs. Join me on this side and down. Down nice and slow. This is really important. As that leg comes down, hold your position, keep your neutral, everything stacked, knees bent, and bring it right straight down slowly. As gravity's trying to pull that down, you're having to stop that descent. That is called an eccentric exercise, where you go slow on the downside when you're not engaging the muscles to lift. You're not contracting. That's a concentric, and this is eccentric. And down. Two more. And down. Really be careful on this one that you don't tip. With that leg up, you can come forward, you roll to the side, because you have no base of support underneath that side. Core has to do the work. Chair's helping. And back down. So what I did there is I loosened my grip on the chair. I was leaning into it. If I'm leaning into the chair, putting all my weight in that arm. I am not using the core whatsoever. I want the core to do the most of the work. Chair's there to help me. It's an assist. If I start to bobble, it's there if I need it. But I want to try to do it without, because that's going to work all those muscles that much harder. Back to the other side. We're going to go up. This time we're going to drop the knee out, keeping the foot in alignment with the hip. Knee goes out, inner thigh works to bring it back in and down. Up, drop the hip out. Don't bring this foot across body. Make the foot stay right in alignment with the hip, and the knee drops out to the side. Feel the muscles work on the outside of the thigh all the way up into the glutes. And in and down. So you've got that. And then out to the outside. You really have to concentrate. This is easy when the foot comes across the front. Holding that foot where it is and going to the outside works the outside of the hips. And the outside of the hips are part of the core, all the way down to the top of the leg. Front and back. So that means the butt is included in that. Out. In. And down. Last one up. Last one out is a rotten egg. Out. In. And down. Other side. Leg up first. He's got a little bend in it. A little more. Drop that to the outside. That knee. Feel the muscles work on the outside of the hip. Bring him back in and down. So really importantly here too, we're getting the inner thigh and the groin muscles to pull that leg back in. That's not a set of muscles that gets worked all that often, unfortunately. Because you need those muscles as well to keep your alignment and to strengthen up the knee, the muscles around the knee to keep the knee safe. That joint otherwise has a tendency to go bad on you. Same with hips. Anytime one joint is out of alignment, all of them are. Hip, knee, and ankle are all out of alignment. If you have any problems with any of those joints, it's a really good chance that you haven't been aligned for quite a while. Up, out to the side, in, and down. This drop of the knee does not have to be perfect, but what you really have to concentrate on is just feel the muscles working on the outside of the leg to pull it out and then back in and back down again. Fun, fun. Arm up. We are going to bring that leg up, drop the knee out at the same time. We're going to crunch. Do that lower ab exercise. So that one where you're coming down, rolling the shoulders just a little bit. Exhale. Bringing the arm across, getting the obliques involved now. So we're adding a set of muscles to this. Lower abs right here, pick the leg up. Outer hip, drops that knee out. As you come down, you're working the hip flexor, lower abs, and now you get the upper abs involved. And squeeze, as well as the obliques. And back again. A lot of muscle groups. One exercise, tons of different muscles involved. Up, out. Not touching the heel. It's not about touching the heel. It's about bringing that arm out, squeeze, and then back up again. You feel this in the inner thigh, outer thigh, all the way across the core, all the way across the abs. In and back. One more time on this side. Foot up, knee out. Crunch. Cross crunch, actually. And up. Other side. Arm up. Knee comes up first. Exhale. Drop the knee to the outside. Arm comes down. Roll the shoulders just a little bit. And then exhale. Bring that arm out. And back up. The arm over your head. You getting tired? Just put it out to the side. Do something with it. You can even hold down on your side if you want. Just works that shoulder a little more. So you're going to bring that leg up again. And knee drops to the outside. Shoulders roll. And remember, on a rotation, chin follows chest. So as that shoulder rolls, the chest is going to move to the side at a diagonal. Chin's going to follow. And when you do that exhale, you're coming out at a diagonal, nice and tight, shoulder blades back, and then up and around, keeping the spine in neutral so you don't get hurt. Two more. Up. And last one. And buck up. Bring the arms down. That was fun. That was fun, right? Right. All right. Next, we're going to go into a hip hinge. Hip hinge like this. Butt back, knees stay over the ankles. Feet shoulder width apart. So for me, I consider hip width narrower than shoulder width apart. So kind of close for hip, a little bit wider for shoulder width apart, and then wider than shoulder width apart is where you get into this wide stance. So find the place that's right for you, but wherever you are, toes are forward, knees are forward. Knees always follow toes. Always. Always. All right. So hip width apart, butt pushes right straight back. Watch the knees. Watch the knees. They don't move. They stay right over the ankles the whole way. Butt goes back. Now, when you come in, this is the hard part. Knees want to come forward. Hold them there. Don't let them come in. And squeeze. You're going to have to engage these muscles all the way up the back chain and in the shins as well. Actually, everything gets involved here. What you're doing is you're tightening up these muscles in the back chain. As you engage, as you contract, they get shorter, pushing the hips forward. And here you extend them back out again. But these stay right here. Means the lower half of the leg, all those muscles engaged to keep the knees in place. Back down. But as far as you can get it, shoulder blades are back. And come up. If you need to, as a great cue, hold your fingers right there in front of the knee. That's the key. This is an exercise for these muscles in the back here. They're not going to work if the knees are going forward. Then you're kind of doing this thing and pushing up through the heels. That is a squat. We're doing a hip hinge. Back and up. Squeeze hips at the top. Tighten up those abs. Bring it up. Tighten up those glutes. Hips forward. All out there like that. All right. Wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to take and go into a row. Knees are bent. Knees are out over the laces of the shoes just a little bit. Hands out front. We're going to bring them down into a pedal. Shoulders stay in a straight line. Hips stay forward. You're in a wide set to stabilize the hips so that you don't turn. If you were here, it's so much easier to turn. Wider stance, feet forward, knees bent just a little bit. Really stabilizes you from the hips down. And you come back in, other side. Obliques doing the work to pull you around. Remember, you want to draw that shoulder blade down. So as you come around, shoulder blade drops down. So you can feel these muscles contracting, bringing that shoulder blade down toward the hip as you're going into that rotation. So now you're getting more of the muscles, not just these obliques right here on the outside of the torso, but going on the back just a little bit back there as well. And other side. Tighten it up and bring it back in. Here's what we're going to do. Keeping the feet wide, we're going to go into a hip hinge. Down right here. From this position with the butt back, shoulder blades out, you take the shoulders and rotate just like you did up here. But this time you're going to do it from a hip hinge position. Drive this lead shoulder. Drive it back as far around you can behind you. So it comes around, brings a front shoulder with it. Now feel the muscles work all the way from the middle of the spine, all the way out to the outside of the core, outside of the abs there. Other side, same thing. Down, butt out, knees over the ankles, shoulders rotate, use that back shoulder, elbow, drive back as far as you can. Exhale and back up. Come on up. So we can put this all together. Down in a hip hinge. As you're going down in that hip hinge, let's going back. And back up again, other side. Squeeze. bring it up. If you're feeling anything in the lower back at all, check your shoulders, make sure they're up and back so that spine's in neutral. And up, other side. How far down you go does not matter in that hip hinge. Just get into it a little bit. That really makes those obliques pull when you've got that hip hinge in there at the same time. And up and back up. Cool. So the other thing that's good for is if you're ever picking something up and you're bent over. First of all, anytime you're bent over, you don't have chin to chest. You want those shoulder blades back, staying in neutral position. If you need to pick something up, keeping those shoulders in alignment, keeping that back in alignment as you come up is going to protect that back. If you try to bend or have chin to chest, back's bent, and you try to rotate and come up at the same time using the lower back, you're putting all sorts of stress on the muscles that run across the lower part of the back, as well as every vertebrae up the spine. So yeah, there's that. Hang on to your chairs, everybody. We're going back. We're back to chairs. Up. That little tuck out to the side. Knee, toe, hip, all in alignment. Don't let the foot roll in. Always work the muscles on the outside for that alignment. That way, when you walk, you're going to walk this way. Because what usually happens is these muscles get weak on the outside and hips go side to side and you sashay. Sashay is not good for the hips or the ankles or the knees. It's hard on the joints. You want that alignment. All right, here we go. Up, out. Everything's lined up. Outside of the hip doing the pulling to bring that out. Inner thigh is going to bring it back in again. Don't just swing back in. Tighten up those muscles, full stop, and then drop down. To stop all of those muscles, as the foot is coming in, you're tightening it up. You've got to really contract right here, this other side, to stop this momentum. So these two muscles are working in conjunction. That's where you want to come to that full stop and really tighten it up. Out to the side. Keep the knee, hip, toe in alignment. In, stop, and down. Two more. Out. At each range of motion, end of range of motion, wherever this is for you, don't go out any farther than you can keep the foot in alignment with the toe or with the knee. In and back down. One more time. Up. Make sure you've got foot on the floor on that stationary leg. Knee has just a little bit of bend in it. Squeeze. Feel the glutes working on the outside of the butt right here, right inside. As you're bringing it out, bringing it out, and then squeeze the muscles to come back in, stop, and then down. At the end of each range of motion, what I was going to say is you come to a full stop, requires all of the muscles to tighten up really tight, which is what you want. Time under tension. You want the tension of those muscles to make that stop. Everything has to be in alignment right then, right there. All the muscles have to tighten up on both sides to hold it. All right. So we're balancing out to the side. Back in, full stop, and then down. You want to concentrate on no other muscle move or no other joint moving at all. Everything else is contracted, nice and tight, keeping the bend in the knee, foot flat on the floor, shoulders pointed right, or the shoulders side to side, so the chest is pointed right out front, and down, up. Yeah, that's exhale. Squeeze every piece of this. Okay, breath in, out to the side. Hold there. Again, exhale as you come in, using that inner thigh, and then nice and slow back down again. The eccentric movement of dropping that leg, slowing the drop down. One more time. Up. Hip tuck to the side. Knee and toe in alignment, working those muscles all the way down the legs, plus the butt. Back in again, working the inner thigh. Full stop. And drop it down. Nice and slow. You should feel that from the knees all the way up to belly button, front to back, all the way around. Every muscle was engaged in that. Go ahead and sit down, grab a drink of water as you do. Before you do, I said we weren't going to sit down. I lied. What the heck? Who does that? I do regularly. Sorry. My bad. Move chair in a little bit. All right. We need to get some stretch through those hips. Bring the leg up and over. So here you can do a couple different things. You can start bringing this knee up this way. What you want to feel, let me tell you what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve here is a stretch on the outside of the hips. You know, that those muscles we've been talking about all through the class that we were using to pull that knee out. You want to get those muscles. So starting out with the legs over. So extend the one leg out and then just knee over wherever you can get it. Shoulder blades back, chest is out. Look for the stretch on the side. If you don't feel it, you start bringing that knee up just a little bit at a time, keeping the shoulder blades back until you find it. The other thing you can do is extend the one leg out, put the ankle on the other, and then just walk it up this way. Do the one that's right for you, the one that works for you. You exhale, leaning forward, but not bending forward. Hip hinge forward, just like all the other ones we did. Great stretch for the lower back. Back up. Foot down, other side. Again, your choice. Over here, down here, coming up wherever you can. I've got a pulled hip flexor. I am not going very high on this side. Just kind of holding out there for a second. Doesn't take much to get the outside of that hip. And bring it back down. And back to center, rotation. Back of the hand, outside of the thigh, shoulder blades back. The way to prevent injury on this move is keeping the chin up, looking right straight out in front of you. Back of the hand on the outside of that leg, take that back shoulder and roll it around. Keeping the shoulder blades back as much as possible. If the chin is coming toward the chest, if you feel any drop here, you are immediately putting that spine under pressure, or those muscles in the spine under pressure, because you're stretching them out as you're trying to turn. They don't want to do that. They are not meant to do that. Not just they don't want to. And back again. You should not feel this in the lower back. Anything, any feeling in the lower back when you're doing this exercise, get out immediately of it. Roll the shoulder blades back, do it again, and stop before you get to that point again. Ready, shoulder blades back and around. Again, it's that back shoulder. That does all the work. That pulls that other shoulder around. Deep breath in, shoulder blades back, and exhale. Coming back to center. My favorite stretch. Legs out, knees and toes out at a diagonal. Hands right there on top of the thighs. And hip hinge, keeping the shoulder blades back. Down just like this. Feel the stretch in the hips, the inner thighs, and the lower back and the glutes. Don't let the chin come to the chest. This isn't how low can you go. We are not limboing. Bring yourself back up again by pushing through the heels of the hand to bring you up. This time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to reach for the floor. As the shoulders go down, chin doesn't come down at the same time. Only thing that happens is the shoulders roll toward the floor. So you bring them down, caving in around the chest, tightening up those chest muscles. Feel the stretch in the upper back, lower back, inside of the thighs, outer thighs. Before you come up, take the hands, put them on the thighs, push through the palms of the hands, drawing the shoulder blades back, bringing the head up, putting the spine in neutral, and then coming up to fully seated, fingers intertwined, palms up overhead, like this. Shoulder blades are back. Putting the ear on the inside of one of the arms, go the other way, trying to keep that spine in as neutral position as we can. So everything's stacked. You want the arms, ear, spine, all in alignment, head, so that when you go down to the side, all you're doing is stretching the muscles up the outside of the torso and back up again. The other thing is don't lean out and bring the butt out. Bring the butt up off the chair. If you feel that sits bone pulling up, you're not stretching anything in the upper body there. You're just going to put your back out of alignment. So ear on the inside, looking right straight forward, shoulder up and over. Inhale and exhale, using that top hand to pull you back up again. Arms down, grab onto the back of the chair. Fingers cupped around the back of the chair. Don't grab it. Cup it. Cup it. and lean forward. Lean into it, roll those shoulder blades back a little more. Get the chest out. Feel the stretch all the way through the chest, through the shoulders. Coming back forward, you're bringing the arms around, hands on the thighs, and coming back. Pushing off the thighs, roll the shoulder blades back. Deep breath in. Through the nose, filling the lungs up, then pushing the stomach out, and exhale one more time, keeping that spine in neutral. Cup the shoulder or cup the back of the chair, and then lean into it. This is all a hip hinge. Deep breath in. Hands forward. Back up, shoulder blades back. And bring it down. Feet out front. Hips, knees, toes all in alignment. Drop the torso down. Stomach hits the thighs. And then the rest comes down. And grab underneath, grab the thighs, whatever you got. Deep breath in, exhale, shoulder blades back, chest out, arms up, getting the spine in neutral before you come up. You exhaled on the way up. Right here, deep breath in through the nose. Stomach out, exhale as hard as you can. Lay on top of the thighs, grab, pull yourself down, get all the air out of the lungs, get all that used up oxygen out of there. And deep breath in, exhale as you come up, rolling those shoulder blades back, spine in neutral. Then you bring it up. Deep breath in, stomach out, arms down. That's it. That was a good core workout. Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it.